Welcome to part two, Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk with the awesome Robin McAuley, all the way from are you right in LA?
I am just outside, a little to the north of LA. I lived in LA for 14 years. I've been in LA for 35 years, so about half the time. Yeah. Had kids, and we decided to get out of LA. Yeah.
That's fair. I had a friend a while back. He went down to gamble, but he went to Vegas, and he told me the story. He went kicking and screaming to a show. And he sent me a text afterwards. He goes, I just saw this show down here called Raiding the Rock Vault.
Woo.
And I started laughing. Are you still partaking in that?
I am not a full-time member like I was for 7 years and almost 1,500 shows, but I'll be back in this coming Saturday for the 10th anniversary.
That's so 10 years.
10 years, yes.
I should say award-winning show, because that show's won a lot of awards. That's got to be a heck of a lot of fun for you guys, because you're like, if anybody hasn't seen it, go check it out. But I mean, you got yourself, you got Paul Shortino, you got just different people that come in, and let's call it the world's greatest cover band doing like everything. Is that a fair statement?
That was exactly the intention. The intention was not to be recognized as a cover band, right, but as a bunch of musicians who had recorded, let's just say extensively, toured extensively, had the road experience, had the recording experience, and would know how to handle doing cover songs, keeping the integrity of the cover songs, not making it about us, but making it about the song, the music for all of the show, right down to the Eagles, California, note for note perfect when it was played. Regarding the singers, I always used to tell people, I regard myself as just a vehicle for the song to pass through, because chances are that I might be sharing any one particular song with 2 or 3 other singers. And so everybody would have their take. And the whole thing was try not to be so much yourself as opposed to be the song. And I think that's what people started going, oh my God, this was great. Oh my God, this was great. And we never for a second thought that show would run, at least for the 7 years I was in it. I ran right up to COVID.
Wow.
And we hit almost 1,500 shows at that point.
The first time I ever saw it, somebody sent me a clip, and I don't remember the lady that was singing, but she was doing Alone by Heart. And when Howard Leese broke into the solo,
yeah,
the place went absolutely bananas. And I'm sitting there going like, wow, like what an amazing idea to put this on, right?
Yeah, and Howard was right up to that point also a musical director, very particular, amazing player. I mean, he just makes it look so easy. And we would segue through maybe 35 songs in an evening. And the idea also was that we would try to do each section. It was 60s through 80s. That's basically what we were covering. People go, why don't you do this? We'll go, well, that's metal. That's not actually this then, So we would move 60s through the 80s. We used to start with The Who, My Generation, and we'd segue through the Stones, through the Doors, and we would do the UK invasion to the US and vice versa. And we would try to do costume changes through every period. So we'd have flared pants that were be 14 inches wide. We'd have the bell bottoms. We'd have the scarves, the jewelry. We'd try to emulate as much as we could, especially you get the Hendrix with the band jackets. So the costume changes were man, it was a marathon back there just to get off and come back for another song dressed completely head to toe different, and with only this kind of timing in between. So Howard would spend time getting those segues just to fine-tune it enough that the break wasn't long and it would appear seamless. And we were really blessed that we started at the old Elvis Hotel at the Las Vegas Hilton. We had a stage that was 65 feet across, maybe 65 feet deep. And we were there for the first year, 18 months. We moved up to the Tropicana after that for about the same period. Then we moved over to the hard rock, which we started to learn is very typical of Vegas residencies. They just seem to move around. And so right now it's at Rio Hotel and Casino. And come April, it'll move back onto the Strip, back into the Hard Rock in the upstairs portion.
Well, I mean, first time I thought you and Paul Sortino on the same stage, I was like, oh, what?
Oh yeah, I can tell you right out the gate. Sortino and myself, we go back to about 1988, and we are the best of buddies. In actual fact, somebody was talking to me yesterday about it, and I'm surprised we get any work done because all we're doing is in the corner. We're just laughing our asses off about something. We'll pick something. And we also do, since you brought Paul up, we are also a big part of another classic rock act that usually travels out of the country called Icons of Classic Rock. We were in Bolivia before Christmas. I think we're going to Mexico very soon. And that's what we do. And Alex Lidgerwood from Santana, the original singer of Black Magic Woman, Dave Evans, who was the original singer from AC/DC, is actually in the show. And just a plethora of other guys. Sean Coy, that was with Meatloaf, female singer, and is now with Starship. Sean is in the show. Man, she is a powerhouse. So it's amazing. People go crazy for the stuff. They go crazy.
I feel very bad for you guys, Robin. Well, and true story. One of the bands that I play in that's a cover band. We do we do a lot of Styx and Journey and what have you. We've got a very, very, very strong singer, but I actually took some of what I was seeing with you guys and stole a little bit. So if you can give me an address, maybe a royalty check can come your way or something. Yeah. I feel like I mixed up there.
People. I'm glad you brought it up because when we started, because we were in Vegas, a lot of the LA core were like going, this will last about as long as a bad beer, okay? and it only took a very short time before that same sector of criticism were now baying at the door, going, I could do this show, dude. I could, if ever you need to step aside, and you're tired, I can step in there. And I'm going, oh, that's funny. You didn't want to do this. Like it was a big ha 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 only a very short time ago. And now everybody wants to be in it, and everybody wanted to be in it.
I love that.
As time went on, we had to become a revolving door because we all were at some point going back out to tour, and then we needed to find subs and blah, blah, blah. And needless to say, the cast, we were able to grow the cast. But in the beginning, and definitely up to the first year, 18 months, I don't think anybody took time out. Everybody was there. We worked really hard to create that sort of brand, if you will, and make sure that we absolutely fine-tuned it. And we kept working as a result, So 10 years later, must have done something right.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, here it is, you're about to celebrate the 10th year. And it's funny because Mr. Shortino, Rough Cut was on a bill with Accept and Crocus. They played out here in Halifax. It was like I was in high school. I went and I saw this guy sing, and I was like, where the frick did that guy come from? And guys like yourself, like him, out in Halifax, we were always the 80s hair metal guys, but we always liked, we didn't go to your traditional, heavy hitters. We liked the guys that actually sang. Right. So we spent a lot of time listening to your guys' material. So it's great that we're able to have that conversation because I just think it segues me into the next question. Why do you think this material? Now, we had a little downturn in the 90s. It was the grunge came out and we're successful. We want to kill ourselves because, we don't like it. But that 80s genre just seems to have endured, and now it almost seems to be as big as it was now when it was in. Why do you feel that is?
A good song is a good song is a good song is
Amen,
a
brother.
Good song. And that's all that's to it because, think about what I just was talking about earlier. I mentioned the Sex Pistols, was there a handful of really good punk bands that stood the test of time that you can even remember right now. But if you do remember, Sex Pistols will be up there with them, the Stranglers and that sort of stuff, right? If you come through grunge, for example, I know for me personally, I'll think Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. I'll think Nirvana, and then I'll start having to think a little bit, right? Right. I'll have to start thinking. If I go into the 80s, I can just rattle them off. And the odd thing is that we constantly talk about here is look at TV, look at truck commercials, car commercials. What kind of genre of music do they pick? Usually the 80s. Why is that? It's because those songs were so damn powerful, so hooky, so fun.
Yes.
A lot of people used to criticize us because, oh, dude, hair metal, the makeup. It's like, dude, it was the best time. It was the best fun time. And I think a lot of people the critics didn't see the tongue-in-cheek aspect of it. We did. I don't know why they didn't, but we did. And we were having fun. The songwriting was killer, dude. I think it was awesome.
Totally agree. And it's funny. I have a friend that I used to play in bands with who grew up a huge Michael Schechner fan, and I used to tease him all the time. I used to say, you're spending all this time trying to get really good for dudes while we're worried about the women that are coming. And he used to get so upset, but
yeah,
it was just like I can just remember playing during that time, and it was just like it was really simple. The girls showed up, therefore the guys showed up. It was a formula that was just like license to print money.
I don't know about you. I'm just going to speak for me, and I've been married 30 years, and my wife knows this well. I love the dudes. Please keep coming to the shows, but I got to tell you, dude, I don't mind walking out on stage and there's more than half full of a place with cool chicks. I don't know, dude. It brings a smile to my face. I mean, I love the dude, but as they call it in Europe, they call it the sausage fest.
They call that here too.
And I'm thinking, no disrespect, dudes, but there's just I don't know. There's just a sort of different dynamic when you're up there.
Fair enough.
I mean, that's the sexist thing to say. Shoot me now. But there you have it. I didn't.
Respectful thing to say.
It's a respectful thing. I mean that in the highest level of respect.
So we're a popular podcast, but we're not a big budget podcast, so we're still on the free Zoom. I've got about 5 minutes left.
All right.
And I don't want it to stop and have it just stop. So I do want to ask you, so raiding the Rock Vault, you're going there to take care of that. What's the rest of your year looking like?
I'm not sure exactly when we'll start on Black Swan 3, but we will start. I'm hoping to take the Alive record live and do some shows. We may start in Europe. We're currently talking about that. And I also like to stick this in. I've been working with, I always have to be doing something. So I've been working with this wonderful Italian composer for about 6 months. Basically, his whole story is Netflix and HBO and movie soundtracks. And we got introduced about 6 months ago. He asked me if I'd take a listen to something and write something, and we did, and everybody loves it. And he goes, here's a whole bunch of songs. See what you think. I want this portion of my compositions to be like this. We hit it off really hard. I just got about 6-7 mixes the other night, and it is epic. It's epic, and I think we're going to showcase maybe with a full orchestra sometime in the year. And it's a different set of clothes, different hat for me. Something I've wanted to do for a very long time, and so we may end up doing that this year also. More music, Sean, is what I'll be doing. More music. I'm not close to being done yet. I can't stop now. I'm on a roll.
Well, you are. I mean, there's a lot to be said for people that put out stuff, but put out good stuff. I mean, it's hard to put out good stuff, right?
Yeah. No, I suppose that's kind of subjective because people might hate what I do. I still love what I do. I'm so blessed that people listen to it. I'm so blessed that you invite me onto your show, that you listen to it, and people say nice things about it. And if one person out of 50 says something nice, I'll make a second record.
That's awesome. Well, sir, I want to thank you so much for doing this. You were saying it might be raining there in LA, but hey, there's no snow, so you can still do something fun.
It never rains in California, you know.
That's right. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Thank you so much for doing this, and
my pleasure.
Just enjoy the rest of the year.
Yes, and enjoy the old country.
I'll keep you posted.
All right. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.